Hello, today we're going to be going over the iFixit Pro Tech Toolkit and giving a quick little review and summary of what I think about it. So, in case you don't know, iFixit is a wonderful company. They lobby for right to repair, which is basically the ability to repair your own stuff without a company saying, no, you have to come to us, or buy a new device, or do whatever. iFixit is basically trying to tell people, no, you don't have to do that. You should be able to repair things yourself. And one of the quote-unquote like weapons, I guess you could say, that they use for it is by making their own toolkits and selling parts and writing guides on their website, which is really cool. And one of the ways you can support them is by getting one of their toolkits. And toolkits are not just, supporting them, they're also really high quality tools. They come with tons of awesome things. You can see all the stuff on here. Really cool. And yeah, there's just a lot of cool stuff. So in the box, you get the stickers, because every good product needs stickers, and Apple, and a little quote-unquote owner's guide. I really think of this more as here's an overview of your kit, and here's some fancy story stuff, and it's I really think this is what it should be called. Welcome to the community. We can fix it, or you can fix it, we can help. I really think that's what this should be called, not an owner's guide. There's really proper documentation. The documentation is the guides on their website. So it comes with this really nice tool roll, I guess you could say. And it folds out like this. So there's this little protective flap. And then this little magnetic pad that keeps the driver kit in place. So I guess I'll start out with the tools over here. So this right here is a anti-static wrist strap. Where essentially you take it out and there's metal in here that has it's continuous to this little clip, which you can ground yourself to, something that's grounded, usually a power supply that is plugged in but not turned on, I think, is what most people do to ground themselves. Because a lot of electronics can be damaged by static electricity, and it's a really annoying thing to have happen, so it's best to just, have the tools to make sure that static will never, ever become a problem for you. Which is why this kit's awesome, because they think through everything. I know tons of kits would not include that just because they don't think that it's that necessary. And they don't need to include it, which is just what makes this kit awesome. Then you got your suction cup handle, which is really cool. It'll vibrate the camera, but you'll see. Pretty cool. It can give a lot more suck than that, but really useful for games like devices that have things on their screens and getting rid of a lens on a DS or something, or opening up an iPhone or whatever. Then you have these little opening things. I like these. They're really cool. They're hard plastic. They're bendable but not breakable. Although I do think the durability is a little bit of an issue. If you'll focus, you can see that these, after only a few uses, it kind of got all mangled up. But this other side's really nice, and I think that's why they include 3 of them, in case they wear down, which it does say this product is designed to break before your device does, which I think is a really good thing that they include these. Unlike, if you tried to use, say, this metal spudger, you'd totally damage your device. And these are basically oversized guitar picks. You get 6 of them. I like these a lot. These are great for getting under those plastic tabs and getting rid of adhesive and things. These are just probably my favorite tool in the entire kit, even though it's such a basic thing. If you have guitar picks, you're good for most repairs. So then you get to move on to the more prying and manipulating tools versus just the opening stuff. And I guess there's the other additional things they threw in there, because why not? So first off, we have the tweezers, and then the spudger thing. So the tweezers, these are reverse tweezers. So these, you push down on them to open them rather than you pushing to close them, which is really cool, like these other ones. And these are great for getting a screw out of place, or just moving things around, which is really, really handy that they include this. It's really a unique tool, and I wish this was how tweezers worked in general. Then you have angled tweezers. These are ESD safe. Every tool I believe in here is ESD safe. And what's really cool about them is they're angled and they're kind of pokey. And I've used these for ribbon cables, and I know a lot of people have talked about getting something out of a tight space through this, which is really just an awesome thing. Then there is these blunt end tweezers. They're for picking up a screw or something. Really nice. Then you have, this is probably my favorite tool in the entire kit. It's so simple yet so awesome. It's a little spudger. So there's a little pokey end on here for poking things, I don't know, getting a brick connector loose. And a spudger for ribbon cables and popping a battery out, and also those brick connectors. It's just a really useful tool. I really like this. It's a nice, durable, hard plastic, and it's really cool. And it says "Repair is noble" on it. What's more to love? Then you have the halberd spudge, whatever that means, and it has this little flexible blade. I really don't like it. It's a little too flexible for my liking, but the hook is kind of cool. I really wonder what this could be used for, because I haven't seen anyone use one of these before, so a little confused, but I think at the same time, it's clearly people do use it because they decided to include it in this kit. So then, I have the third spudger, which is this metal spudger, really high quality, really nice. So it has this little flat end, a little bit of a more pokey, and not really sharp, it's more just like pokey. And I think these would be useful for like opening something that's made of metal, but for a lot of electronics, like plasticky type materials, so I don't really see the point in including this in an electronics kit, but, you know, whatever. I guess it has its use cases, you know, whatever. Excuse me. We have the Jimmy opening blade, as they call it, which is this nice, like, they call it like a blend between a putty knife and, like, some sort of utility thing. And I like it. I think it's nice. It's dull, although I somehow managed to cut myself on it a few days ago, but, you know, whatever. But it's still really cool. It's nice, flexible. It's great for getting into some of those spaces with adhesives. But I don't really see myself using this tool that much. Then we get to the star of the show, the driver kit, which has this wonderful aluminum driver. It's like really heavy and nice, and one of my favorite fidget toys. I heard people talk about liking iFixit drivers as a fidget toy, and I was like, what? And then I held one. I'm like, it all makes sense now. And it's really nice. They include all sorts of tools in here. So one of them is this flex extension, which plugs into the, I believe it's 4mm. Sorry, it's not wanting to come out today. But you just plug it in here, and then you can like put a screw bit in there. And when you screw, it'll rotate over there, which is really cool. And I don't see myself using this. It doesn't really, it's not like, you can't really do this with it, but I guess it's cool they include it. They really do think of everything, because I'm sure there is some very niche repair that needs that, and it's cool that they include it. Then you have 64 of their favorite bits. They do sell smaller kits that have 16 bits and 32 bits on their own. They also sell this on their own, and the larger Manta one that includes the 1/4-inch bits, as well as special ones like hex security, which I'm honestly really surprised. So they have regular hex bits like these. They don't have hex security, which does kind of confuse me. Anyway, that's besides the point. So there's this really cool bit that lets you use, this doesn't actually fit in here, but if you have a larger screwdriver, it'll let you fit one of these bits in here, which is very useful. It's one of those things that's like, you don't have to use this driver. You can use whatever driver you'd like because of that, or you can use any other 4mm precision driver. Then there is this bit, which is the magnet bit. Really useful. I've used this like a handful of times already, just for like picking up something. It's very strong magnet, really great. I love it. Your hex sockets, really useful. I think these are cool. I haven't really seen anything in a device that uses these, but at the same time, they're thinking for what people are most likely to going to need these for. And there's your regular hex bits, really cool. I don't really see the point of them when we have like Allen keys, but you know, I kind of like the idea of having a hex screwdriver because I've never really seen that before. Then you have the oval bit for apparently espresso machines or something like that. Excuse me. And spanner bits, which I've actually never seen a spanner bit, but you know, pretty cool. The iPhone standoff bit, which is apparently used in certain iPhone models because Apple had to come up with another screw type for some reason. Square bits, pretty cool. I like little square bits, as well as Japanese industrial standard. Now, if I show you a JIS, I believe this is JS1, yeah, and you compare it to a Philips #1 bit, they look identical. I don't really see the difference, but, you know, whatever. Apparently there is like a slight difference and they're not compatible, so just follow the iFixit guide and they'll tell you what to do. Then you have your Torx bits and Torx security bits. Really useful. I think Torx is one of the more common ones. Ooh, that light is reflecting. I'll adjust that. And then you have, one of my favorites is GameBit, which is for like old Nintendo and Sega stuff, uses a lot of these, which is really awesome because I know if I want to do like Game Boy repairs, those will come in handy. Then you have a SIM ejector bit. It's one of those things that I'm like, why? At first, I'm sure this is useful. So rather than having to like, get a paper clip, you just like have a tool for it. And these bits are very cheap to make. Although these ones are very high quality, so they might cost more. Then you have regular flathead, ones, pretty typical. I do question why they only need to include this many. I guess it's because, like, you know, certain things might need more precision or be perfectly sized, but, you know, whatever. Then you have tri-wing bits. I know Apple stuff uses these, and I also know that a lot of Nintendo, like, Joy-Cons use these when I was fixing my friend's Joy-Con. Then we have Pentalope. I wasn't fixing, I was like showing them the insides in case, because they were having drift and wanted me to help fix them, but that's beside the point. So you have Pentalope, which Apple made for MacBooks and iPhones, because we're Apple, we hate consumers. And then standard Phillips bits from Phillips 2 all the way down to 000, and pretty typical triangle bits, which is really cool and awesome. And I think that pretty much covers everything in the kit. So you can see from all this that there is just a lot of wonderful and extremely useful tools that are included in here. Oh, did I mention this is a parts tray? It's something you wouldn't think of until they were like testing and being like, okay, here's an idea, let's do this. So yeah, if I had to pick my favorite tools out of this thing, I'd probably pick, well, first off, the bit thing. If I had to pick my favorite bits, though, I would probably pick the smaller tri-wing ones, few of the Phillips ones, probably a few of the flatheads, definitely the Torx, I like Game Bit. I like this magnet bit, I like the sim bit, I like the JS ones, those are useful. I just don't see myself using the hex bits that much, since like I can just do like a socket set or something. But I guess these smaller ones are, pretty cool. So yeah. Also Pentalope. Pentalope is cool. And then as for the other tools, I love the Spudger. This thing's awesome. If I had to choose one tool from this side of the kit, I love this. I like the angled tweezers. I like the little opening picks. And yeah, that's about it. I think if there's one tool I'd get rid of, it would probably be this flex extension. But after that, probably this Halbert Spudger. I just don't see a point. It's like, why? But it's still cool to include it because, once again, repairs for different devices need different things. And that's really what iFixit go through. They had to go through about, okay, right now, this is what we know. We want this kit to last for the next 8 years or whatever. Because this kit was originally released in, I believe it was 2016. I think they've updated like the Mako driver kit a few times since then. So this might be a newer revision than the one that they originally released. But yeah, pretty cool. This kit is a bit pricey. It's $75, I believe, without tax on their website and Amazon, where I got it from. And that might be expensive, and you might say, oh, I can get a better one for $20 or whatever, but the keyword is, this is high quality. As I said earlier, you're not only supporting iFixit, like the company, selling parts and guides and stuff, you're also supporting the right to repair movement and the idea that we should be able to fix our own stuff via, once again, their guides, but also them lobbying in Congress, in the U.S. at least, where, freedom where I'm from, But at the same time, these are high-quality parts. They have a lifetime warranty, as I don't think it's advertised on the box. Yeah, it isn't, but they do have a lifetime warranty. So if, like, say one of your bits breaks when you're unscrewing something, they'll replace it. Or one of these tweezers snaps in half, they'll fix it, which is just a really useful and amazing thing about this kit, which is part of the reason I got it, just because I trust the company and I support the company. I don't normally vet for companies and be like, this company is better than everything else. But I really think iFixit, and maybe, a few other companies, are the real exception to that. And for that reason, if you're looking to do any form of electronics repair, get one of these. It's awesome. And, what's the worst case scenario? You return it, whatever. It's still really useful. That's about it for now. For the last minute or so, I just want to say thank you guys for all the support on the Citra emulator video. Now, I don't want my entire channel just to be tutorials and, low effort stuff. I want to get some more, like, projects and things like that into it. But I just want this channel to be mostly focused on, like, electronics and maybe a little bit of coding stuff in here. Just, like, interesting, cool stuff with technology, and repairs and things. So if you have any ideas, leave them in the comments or, anything. And consider liking and subscribing if you want to see more stuff in the future. I'm just doing this because I find it to be fun and, it's just enjoyable. It's a little pastime. I have a little bit of free time from now for a few weeks or so it's really nice. So thank you so much for watching and have an excellent day.